Laudetur Jesus Christus. Praise be Jesus Christ. You're listening to Vatican News. And we welcome you this morning, one and all, to our live broadcast of the meeting with young people in the Cathedral of St. Mary's in Tokyo. Our Holy Father Pope Francis has just arrived to loud applause from the gathered young people. And as we begin our broadcast this morning, my name is Christopher Wells. I will be with you today, translating for the Holy Father, who will be giving an address to young people. We're also expecting to hear from several young people themselves who will be speaking to the Holy Father this morning. We would like to greet all those listening in on our associated stations, including Radio Luce, We Are One Body Radio, EWTN TV, Shalom World TV, Catholic Faith Network, Salt and Light TV, Catholic TV, and CBS News. Greetings to one and all. Earlier this morning, the Holy Father started his day with a private meeting with students associated with the Escolas Ocorrentes, the educational organization that the Holy Father is very devoted to. And later he spoke with victims of the triple disaster, the earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear disaster that took place in Japan in 2011. And just a short while ago, the Holy Father had a private encounter with the Emperor of Japan. And he has just now, Pope Francis has just now entered St. Mary's Cathedral in Tokyo, which is filled with young people, very enthusiastic young people, looking forward to hearing him and speaking with him. The original Tokyo Cathedral was built in 1899 in a Gothic style. It was destroyed during the air raids on Tokyo during World War II. The current design is a very modern design, designed by Kenzo Tange, and a very distinctive cathedral. The Holy Father is currently getting ready to enter the sanctuary. And there we have the music picking up as the Holy Father arrives. And as he makes his way through the crowds, he does have the opportunity to speak with some of the young people. As we mentioned, the Holy Father has arrived at the cathedral after a meeting in the Imperial Palace with the new Emperor Naruhito. This current meeting with the young people is the final public event this morning. Afterwards, he will go to the Apostolic Nunciature, where he will have lunch before heading this afternoon to the Tokyo Dome, where he will celebrate his last public liturgy in Japan. And that will be a Holy Mass offered for the gift of human life. Afterwards, this afternoon, he'll be meeting with the Prime Minister and then with civil authorities and members of the diplomatic corps. So a very full day today. The Holy Father is now in the sanctuary at the cathedral and is receiving the greetings of the crowd and greeting them in return. We are expecting to hear from 3 young people this afternoon during this gathering. Meanwhile, they are bringing up the microphone for the Holy Father, making sure everything is set.
Querido Papa Francisco, muchas gracias por venir hoy a este encuentro de jóvenes. 教皇フランシスコ、本日は青年の集いにお越しいただき
And the Holy Father is welcomed in his native language. Thank you for joining us at this meeting with young people.
Esperábamos su llegada. ヨハネ・パウロ2世の来日以来38年ぶりのご来日ありがとうございます。みんなで教皇のためにお祈りをしてお待ちしておりました。
Cerca de 900 jóvenes estamos reunidos hoy aquí para escucharle. 本日は900人余りの青年が集い、教皇の話を伺いに参りました。
Le agradecemos el tiempo que va a pasar con nosotros y esperamos con mucha ilusión el mensaje que nos va a transmitir. 一緒に過ごしてくださる時間に感謝し、私たちに伝えてくださるメッセージを楽しみにしています。
それではまず最初にここで本日のテーマ「命」にちなみまして日本で今現在生きている青年たちの思いを青年の代表3名から
And we're going to begin with the theme of today, life, every life.
最初の証言者は小林美希さんです。スピーチのテーマはカトリック青年として生活することです。
And we'll begin with the witness of 3 young people. The first is Miki
日本
Kobayashi.
のカトリックの青年を代表してご挨拶する機会をいただき、とても光栄に思います。教皇様とは
And
直接
we
英
have
語でお話ししたかったのです
been
が、
provided with
ここ
a
にいる
translation.
皆さんにも聞いていただきたく、日本語でお話しすることをお許しください。今の日本は
I'm very honored to have an opportunity to speak on behalf of Japanese Catholic youth. I'd like to speak directly to you in English, but at the same time, I would like the audience to be able to hear what I'm saying. So I apologize, but I'll speak in Japanese. Japanese society emphasizes productivity, so I feel Japan is a very busy country. Unfortunately, in such a society, there are few people who think that it is valuable to take time to pause and reflect on themselves and to just pray. However, I think it is necessary in modern life to make round trips between daily life and time apart, going back to the Father for a while every weekend to reflect on what happened in the past week, to pray and then get energy to live the new week. When I went to a school in Timor-Leste, the students went to Mass every night. They prayed quietly and their singing spread throughout the church. I felt the beauty of their lives naturally spent with God. This round trip between daily life and time apart enriches life. We can make time to think and act based on God, even though the world around us changes so rapidly. From one aspect, Japanese society is well developed. We need not fear danger to our lives, and many seem to be able to live without believing in something. In such an environment, how can young people meet God? Is there some place where they can have that encounter? Because of lack of time, young people may fail to see the uncountable stars and lose a joy-filled chance to experience the greatness of God and their own weakness and realize that God is with them. They may not have friends with whom to talk about and deepen their faith. In Japan, only a minority believes in God, and young people may not be able to find the meaning of faith if they do not see other people who live by faith. It is sad that it is not easy to find the models or attitudes of living faith that young people seek. I think, too, of the day laborers in Kamagasaki in Osaka, who are treated as outcasts and deprived of social services, or the way technical interns from foreign countries are often exploited and then discarded. I think that the Church can play some role in such situations. God's rule of measurement is different from society's standards or our values. God cares for everyone. Would not the Church come alive if it goes out of itself? In addition, I think we, the people who gather in the Church, must live our faith in society. I said that Japan is a rich country, but there are lots of problems to be solved. Globalization is bringing more and more people of various backgrounds to live together. I'd like to ask what role the Church can play and how young people can find God within Japanese society. Thank you.
今後、グローバル化によってさらにさまざまな背景を持つ人が住む世の中になります。こうした日本社会の中で、教会がどのような役割を果たし、青年はどのように神様と出会って生きていくのか、これらについてのお考えをお伺いしたいと思います。
And a round of applause as the Holy Father greets Miki and is able to share a word with her.
小林さん、ありがとうございました。
続きまして、お二人目の発言者は工藤雅子さんです。スピーチのテーマは若者として生きることです。
And now we have
よろしくお願いいたします。
testimony and a question from Masako Kudo, a young Buddhist.
本日はとても貴重な機会をいただきありがとうございます。私は今、中学校の教員
Thank you very much for giving me this precious opportunity today.
教育実習の時、
I teach health and physical education at a junior high school.
心と足を揃えて大ムカデの競争に
When I was a practice teacher, for sports day at our school, 38 students and I participated in a centipede race, in which lines of runners hold shoulders with legs linked together with a band. Through this experience, I had the great joy of being one with a team working hard together. The students and I all grew, and I was determined to become a teacher.
この時ばかりはそれまで毎日できなかった朝夕の極用
However, becoming a teacher was not easy. At that time, I practiced morning and evening sutra recitation prayer that I had not been able to do before that. Thanks to other people's support and encouragement, I was able to pass the examinations and finally become a teacher.
日本では
In Japan, there's never-ending news of bullying and suicide, and students have troubles with their friends and anxiety over teachers or school. In addition, with the spread of mobile phones, computers, game devices, and such, many children find communicating or competing with others bothersome and so withdraw into themselves.
競い合ったりすることを億劫に感じ、一人殻にこもっている生徒が多いと感じています。私の学校に
In my school, there are students who compare themselves with others and have feelings of inferiority or superiority.
自分を好きになれない。
They do not like themselves and have low self-esteem, but at the same time, they cannot acknowledge other people's efforts or achievements. When I talk to students with gloomy faces, they give answers like, I had a fight with my parents, they treat me like a nuisance, or my parents compare me to my siblings. They tend to become aggressive towards others who do well at school, saying, he or she has a different brain by nature, or he or she puts on a good face for the teacher.
成績の良い人に対してどうせあの子は
I have come to realize that these students' attitudes are like my own. I used to compare myself with my older brother or my friends. I want to be better than anyone else and want to be recognized by others. I am grateful that I can understand the feelings of my students, but at the same time, as a teacher, I worry about what I can do for them other than just listening to them. Please give me guidance, Your Holiness, as to what kinds of interaction can help these students become aware of their goodness and value.
どのように関わったら良いのでしょうか。教皇様、どうぞご指導の方よろしくお願いいたします。ありがとうございました。
That was a young Buddhist school teacher named Masako Kudo. And likewise through an interpreter being able to speak with our Holy Father for a few moments. And the final young speaker this morning is Leonardo Cachuela, a migrant from the Philippines.
それではレオナルドさん、よろしくお願いいたします。
僕は両親が2人ともフィリピンで、フィリピンに生まれて小学校4年生の頃に日本に移住しました。
My parents, he says, are Filipino, and I was born in the Philippines.
とても大変でした。
We moved to Japan when I was in 4th grade.
話せないし、
It was very difficult for us to live in another country. I couldn't speak the language, and there were differences in culture and customs. The problems
僕が小中学生の時、 同じクラスの男子にいじめられて
The
いま
problem
し
I suffered from most was
た。
bullying.
黒人だからダメ。デブ
When I was an elementary and junior high school student, I was bullied by a boy in the same
目
class.
が合うだけで嘲笑され、いつ
In
ま
a
で
low
も笑い
voice,
集め
just loud enough for me to
毎日
hear,
消えたいと思
he
い
would say, "No good foreigner," or "Fatso,"
過激に気づいて
"disgusting."
からは毎日人の目線が
Just by eye contact, I felt ridiculed, and little by little, I could no longer smile, and every day I wanted only to disappear.
暴力振るわれたことはなかったが、言葉が、視線が、表情が
When I thought others were talking behind my back, I was increasingly troubled. I felt like my mere existence was being denied.
他の人たちにも
I never suffered physical violence, but words, stares, facial expressions, and feeling pressure that I couldn't see all oppressed me.
みんなが僕を避けるような感じで離れていきました。
At school, I spent more and more time alone, avoiding
学
others.
校に行くのが嫌になって、
I didn't have many friends during free time, and when I tried to join a group, everyone would leave me feeling like they were avoiding me.
何回か視察をしよう
This
か
continued every day, and I didn't like going to school. There were times when I couldn't go to school for a
教会の
week.
人や
I had a hard time every day,
何度も救われま
and
した。
several times I thought of killing
日
myself.
曜日の教会に行ってすごく気持ちいいことがいい気持ちが楽になる時もありました。教会の神父さんやリーダー、仲間たちからの優しい言葉やイエス様に教わったこと、聖書の中でも
However, I was saved many times by people at church and by hearing the words of Jesus.
驚いてはならない。
There were times when I went to church on Sunday and I felt really
私はあなたを
comfortable.
強くし、
Gentle words from the priests, leaders, and friends, along with what Jesus
とい
taught,
う言葉が
and the words of the Bible, "Do not be afraid, I am with you. Do not be amazed, I am your God. I will strengthen you, help you, and hold you in my victorious right hand," all encouraged me.
いじめに遭う場所は学校など現実社会からネット社会までに広がっています。ただ幸せに生きたいというだけなのに、
Bullying is a big problem now, not only in Japan, but also in various places around the world.
教えてください。
In addition, the places where bullying occurs are expanding from environments such as schools to the internet. There are many people who just want to live happily, but cannot survive. Please tell me, Holy Father, how should we confront the problems of discrimination and bullying that are spreading throughout the world? That was Leonardo Cachuela, a migrant from the Philippines. And the Holy Father seems to be offering him a word of encouragement, patting his hand, and sharing a few moments and a few words with Leonardo. And with the help of a translator and finishing with a big smile. Big smiles all around. And now we're going to hear from the Holy Father, who has prepared some remarks, where he will also be responding to some of the
ありがとうございました
questions that were offered
今
by
回教皇
the
ご来
three
日
young
のテーマ
people
ソングである
whose testimonies and
全て
witnesses
の
we have
命
just
を守
heard.
るためプロテクトオールライフをお届けいたします。このテーマ曲はカトリック信者にとどまらず現代社会に生きるすべての人々に知っていただくきっかけとして作られました。
このテーマソングを本日集まりました私たち全員で声を揃えて歌い、
And I
教
believe
皇
that
様
we're
に
going
ご
to
披露させて
hear
いただきたいと思います。それではお集まりの皆さん、名古屋教区のギフターズの皆さん、よろしくお願いいたします。
a song on the theme of protecting all life. It is a bit curious seeing a bishop playing an electric guitar, but it appears that He is a member of the group that is performing right now. And Holy Father Pope Francis applauding enthusiastically for the theme song, which is the official song for the Pope's visit to Japan,
続きまして
entitled
女王から
Protect All
お言葉を
Life,
い
the
ただきたい
Signs
と思い
of
ま
the
す。
Times.
お願いいた
And
し
you
ます。
can listen to that on YouTube. And now we will hear the message and the words of our Holy Father, Pope Francis.
Queridos jóvenes, gracias por venir, gracias por estar aquí.
Dear young people,
Escuchar vuestra energía
thank you for coming and being here. Seeing and hearing your energy and your enthusiasm gives me joy and hope.
También agradezco a Leonardo, Miki,
For this, I am
Masato,
thankful. I'm also grateful to Leonardo, Miki, and Masako for their words of testimony.
necesita gran coraje y valentía para compartir lo que se lleva en el corazón, como ustedes lo hicieron.
It takes great courage to open your hearts and share as you
Que
did.
sus voces fueron eco de muchos
I'm
de sus
sure that your
compañeros
voices
aquí
echoed
presentes.
those of many of your classmates present here. Thank you.
Sé que en medio de ustedes hay jóvenes de otras nacionalidades. Algunos de ellos buscan
I know that there are young people from other nationalities among you, some of whom are seeking refuge.
la sociedad que queremos para mañana.
Let us learn to build together the society we want for tomorrow.
Puedo ver la diversidad cultural y religiosa de los jóvenes que viven en el Japón de hoy. Y también algo de la belleza que vuestra generación ofrece.
As I look out at you, I can see the cultural and religious diversity of the young people living in Japan today,
Recuerda a todos
and something of the beauty that your generation holds for the future.
traumático, sino que es posible si nos animamos a mirarlo en la variedad y en la diversidad.
Your friendship with one another and your presence here remind everyone that the future is not monochrome.
Cuando necesita aprender
If we are courageous, we can contemplate it in all the variety and diversity of what each individual person has to offer.
tengamos que ser todos igualitos.
How much our human family needs to learn to live together in harmony and peace, without all of us having to be the same.
No nos hicieron a máquina a todos en serie. Cada uno viene del amor de sus padres y de su familia. Por eso somos todos distintos. Cada uno trae una historia para compartir.
私たちは結局機械によって作られたわけではなくて、やはり一
And
人一
there's
人その親たちの歴史文化などを持っています。だからそれが私たちの豊かさ、また私たちの良さでもあります。
Cuando yo digo algo que no está traducido, lo va a traducir él.
テキストにないところは私が翻訳します。
And he explains when I go off script, my translator has to come in and translate for me.
Necesitamos crecer en fraternidad, en preocupación por los demás.
How much we need to grow in fraternity. He continues, going back to his speech, how much we need to grow in fraternity and concern for others and respect for different experiences and points of view.
Es posible que no es una utopía.
Our meeting today is so joyful precisely because we are saying that the culture of encounter is possible. It's not a utopia, and you young people have the special sensitivity needed to carry it forward.
Porque reflejan vuestras experiencias concretas y también vuestras
I was
experiencias.
impressed by the questions you asked because they reflect your concrete experiences, but also your hopes and dreams for the future.
Gracias, Leonardo, por compartir la experiencia del bullying y discriminación que sufriste.
Thank you, Leonard, for sharing the experience of bullying and
Los
discrimination.
jóvenes encuentran el valor de hablar sobre experiencias.
More and more young people are finding the courage to speak up about experiences like yours.
Nunca se hablaba de cosas como las que dijo Leonardo.
私は若かった時にはこういうような分かち合いすることは全くなかったんです。
Lo más cruel del bullying, del acoso escolar,
The cruelest thing about bullying is that it attacks our self-confidence at the very time when we most need the ability to accept ourselves and to confront new challenges in life.
nuevos retos en la vida. En ocasiones, las víctimas del bullying incluso se culpan a sí mismas por haber sido blanco fácil.
Sometimes victims of bullying even blame themselves for being easy targets.
Y llegar a situaciones altamente dramáticas.
They can feel like failures, weak and worthless, and end up in very tragic situations,
Sin embargo,
saying to themselves, if only I were different.
son los acosadores los que hacen
And yet,
bullying,
paradoxically,
los verdaderamente
bullies are the
débiles,
truly weak ones,
porque piensan
for they think that they can affirm their own identity by hurting others.
lastimando a los demás. Algunas veces atacan
Sometimes
a
they strike out at
cualquiera
anyone they
que
think
sea
is
diferente,
different, who represents something they find threatening.
que los amenaza. En el fondo, los acusadores, los que hacen el bullying, tienen miedo, son miedosos, que se cubren en la apariencia de fortaleza.
Deep down, bullies are afraid, and they cover their fear by a show of
Cuando
strength.
ustedes vean que alguno tiene necesidad de herir a otro, de hacer el bullying a otro, de acosarlo, ese es un débil. El acosado no es el débil, es el que acosa al débil, porque necesita hacerse el grandecito, el fuerte para sentirse persona.
結局その攻撃する方が弱いということを注意していただきたいと思います。結局皆さんがそういうような攻撃的になる人を見れば、やはりそっちこそ弱くて、やはり自分を強調して、結局その強調の仕方をわからないから、こういう、行動に出るということになります。
Yo le dije a Leonardo recién, cuando te digan que sos obeso, decile, es peor ser flaco como vos.
さっきレオナルドさんに言いましたのは、デブと言われたらですね、痩せた方が不健康でかっこ悪いと言ってやれと。
Debemos unirnos todos contra esta cultura del bullying.
We must all unite against this culture of bullying and learn to say enough.
Basta. Es una epidemia donde la mejor medicina la pueden poner entre ustedes mismos.
It is an epidemic, and together you can find the best medicine to treat it.
Las instituciones educativas o los adultos usen todos los recursos que están a su alcance.
It's not sufficient that educational institutions or adults use all the resources at their disposal to prevent this tragedy.
Entre amigos, entre compañeros,
It is necessary that among yourselves, among friends and colleagues, you join in saying no.
no
No,
a la agresión al otro.
that's wrong. No to aggression.
Está mal. No hay mayor arma para defender
No to bullying.
que la de poder levantarse entre compañeros y amigos y decir
There's no greater weapon against these actions than standing up in the midst of our classmates and friends and saying, what you are doing is wrong.
el que hace bullismo es un miedoso.
結局いじめる人がやはり怖い、自分が怖い弱い人です。
Y el miedo siempre es enemigo del bien, Por eso es enemigo del amor.
Fear is always the enemy of goodness,
結局恐怖
because
は
it's the enemy of love and peace.
またその平和の敵でもあります。
Sigo. Las grandes religiones, todas las religiones, que cada uno
The great religions, all religions,
enseñan tolerancia, enseñan armonía.
teach tolerance, they teach harmony, teach mercy.
No enseñan miedo, división o
They don't
conflicto.
teach fear, division, or conflict.
Para nosotros los cristianos, escuchamos a Jesús que constantemente le decía
Jesus constantly told his followers not to be afraid.
¿Por qué? Porque
And
si
why?
estamos con Dios y amamos con Dios y a nuestros
Because
hermanos,
if we love God and our brothers and sisters, this love casts out fear.
para muchos de nosotros, como bien nos lo recordaste, Leonardo, mirar la vida de Jesús.
For many of us, as Leonardo reminded us, looking to the life of Jesus gives us consolation,
ser despreciado,
for Jesus himself knew what it was to be despised and rejected, even to the point of being crucified.
también sabía lo que era ser un extraño, un migrante.
He knew, too, what it was to be a stranger, a migrant, someone who is different.
En cierto sentido, y acá estoy hablando a los cristianos, y los que no son cristianos, véanlo como modelo religioso.
まあ、この話は信者さんのためにしますけれども、やはりそれを他の宗教を持っている人も参考になります。
En cierto sentido, Jesús fue el más marginado, un marginado lleno de vida para dar. Leonardo, podemos siempre mirar todo lo que nos falta.
In a sense, Jesus was the ultimate outsider, an outsider who is full of life to give. Leonardo, we can always look at all the things we don't have,
Nunca te
but we
olvides
can also come see all the life that we can give and share with others.
necesidad de ti para que puedas darle el coraje a
The
tantos
world needs you. Never forget that.
una mano
The Lord needs you, so that you can encourage all those people around us who are looking for a helping hand to lift them up.
a todos que les va a servir en la vida.
皆さん言いたいことがあります。これは役立つと思います。
Mirar con desprecio, menosprecio a una persona es mirarla de arriba hacia abajo.
誰かを差別することがやはり上からの目線で見るということになります。
Es decir, yo soy superior y vos sos inferior.
というのはやはり私は上だとあなたは下だということを言うような態度です。
Pero hay una sola manera que es lícita y que es justa de mirar a una persona de arriba hacia abajo.
で結局その上からの目線の一つ唯一な許される場面は
para ayudar a levantarla.
その人を助けてやはり一緒に立ち上がり
Repeating something you said before, you said the only way for it to be listed to look down on someone else is to reach down to lift them up.
Mira a una persona de arriba hacia abajo con desprecio,
If any one of us,
es poca cosa.
で
even myself,
自分も含めて
looks down another person with
上からの
spite,
目線で見たとすればやはりそれは本当に自分が情けない
you'd
人
say
間
is little.
Pero si alguno de nosotros mira a una persona de arriba hacia abajo para tenderle la mano y ayudarla a levantarle, ese hombre o esa mujer es un grande.
But if any one of us looks down
倒れている
at
人を
another to help him
上がせるためだったらやはりその人は偉大です。
Sigue
and
cuando-
to lift them up, that person is great.
Pregúntense dónde está mi mano. ¿Está escondida o está ayudándolo a levantarse? Y van a ser felices.
And when we look at another,
偉そうな態度を取るときには
look down
自分で
another,
自分の手どこ
you say,
に向いているんだとその人を助けるために差し上げている
take
か
my
後
hand.
ろでその手を隠しているかその
and in this way, and by helping them, we can make them happy.
¿De acuerdo?
は約束ですと
¿De acuerdo o no?
いいですか
Están todos mudos. ¿Eh?
なんか反応がないんです。
Do you agree? Is that okay?
Y esto
And
implica
then
aprender a
the response when he
desarrollar
encourages
una
them.
cualidad muy importante, pero devaluada. La capacidad de aprender a donar
Returning to his
tiempo
speech,
para
he says
Dios,
this involves developing a very important but underestimated quality,
comprenderlos.
the ability to learn to make time for others, to listen to them,
Vamos a abrir nuestras historias y nuestras heridas
to share with
a un
them,
amor
to
que nos va
understand
a
them.
transformar y comenzar a cambiar el mundo que nos rodea.
Only then can we open our experiences and our problems to a love that can change us and start to change the world around us.
Ganamos tiempo entre las personas, lo perderemos en muchas cosas que al final del día nos dejarán vacíos y aturdidos.
If we don't take time, if we don't take time for other people, we will lose many things.
自分の、
Unless we are generous in spending time with others, we will waste time on many things that at the end of the day leave us empty and confused,
私たちは、もらってしまうという表現です。
stuffed, as they would say in my country.
Dediquen tiempo para su familia, dediquen tiempo a los amigos y también para Dios.
So please make time for your friends and family,
Según su propia creencia.
but also make time for God through meditation and prayer.
Rezar, no se rindan.
And if you find it hard to pray, don't give up. A wise spiritual guide once said, prayer is mostly just a matter of being there. Be still, make space for God. Let Him look at you, and He can fill you with His peace.
Sé espacio para que entre Dios. Déjate mirar y Él te va a llenar de su paz. Y esto es esencialmente lo que Miki nos decía. Preguntó
This is exactly what Miki talked about.
hacer espacio para Dios en una sociedad frenética.
Miki asked how young people can make space for God in a society that is frenetic and focused on being competitive and productive.
Incluso una sociedad entera pueden estar altamente desarrolladas en su exterior.
More and more, we see that a person, a community, or even a whole society can be highly developed on the outside, but have an interior life that is impoverished and underdeveloped, lacking real life and vitality.
Ya terminados, que no tienen nada adentro.
結局その
Everything
人たち
bores
は完
them.
成されたロボットみたいな
They no longer dream, laugh, or pray.
完璧に動いているけど心はないということです。
Todo los aburre. Hay jóvenes que no sueñan.
夢がない若者は残念ながらたくさんいます。
Es terrible un joven que no sueña, un joven que no hace espacio en su corazón para soñar, para que entre Dios, para que entren las ilusiones y sea fecundo en la vida.
非常に大
It's
変な
terrible when
やはり
young
若者
people
には
don't dream,
とかまた神様
when
を愛するための自分の心の中にはスペースは必要
when they don't have
Hay hombres o mujeres que
room in their
solo
hearts.
reír, que no juegan, que no conocen el sentido de la admiración y la sorpresa. Hombres y mujeres que viven como zombies. Su corazón
Everything bores them. They no longer dream, laugh, or play. They have no sense of wonder or surprise.
de celebrar la vida con los demás. Escuchen esto.
They're like zombies. Their hearts have stopped beating because of their inability to celebrate life with
Si
others.
mantienen la capacidad de celebrar la vida con los demás.
皆さんと一緒に
You will be happy
ことを心に保ちながらやはり幸せになれると思います。
if you foster
¿Cuánta
this
gente en
ability
todo
to
el mundo
celebrate,
es
to live life with
materialmente rica,
others.
pero vive esclava de una soledad sin igual? Pienso aquí
How many people throughout our world are materially rich, but live as slaves to unparalleled
en
loneliness?
estas sociedades prósperas, pero a menudo tan anónimas.
I think of the loneliness experienced by so many people, young and old, in our prosperous but often anonymous societies. Mother Teresa, who worked among the poorest of the poor, once said something very prophetic. Loneliness and the feeling of being unloved is the most terrible form of poverty.
Para mí, ¿cuál es la pobreza más terrible? ¿Cuál sería para mí el grado de pobreza mayor?
Perhaps we could ask ourselves, what is the most terrible form of poverty for me? What is the greatest form of poverty for me?
Y si somos honestos, nos vamos a dar cuenta que la pobreza más grande que podemos tener es la soledad y la sensación de no ser amado.
If we would take an honest account of it, we would say it's loneliness
¿Entienden?
and the sense of not being loved. You understand this?
¿Demasiado aburrido el discurso o puedo seguir?
これはちょっとつまらないからやめた方がいいのかなと。
¿Está aburrido?
つまらないんですかと。
Falta
If,
poco.
if
す
this
ぐ終わるから。
is this too boring, or should I go on?
Esta pobreza
And they
espiritual
respond, of
es
course,
una tarea a la que
enthusiastically,
todos
encouraging
estamos
him to
llamados.
continue.
Y ustedes, los jóvenes, tienen un papel especial que desempeñar, porque exige un cambio importante en nuestras
Combating
prioridades,
this spiritual poverty
nuestras opciones.
is a task to which we are all called, and in which you have a special role to play because it demands a major change in priorities and options.
Sino en quién tengo para compartirlas. No es tan
It means
importante
recognizing that the most important thing
para qué
is not what I can have or can acquire, but with whom I can share it. It is not so important to focus on what I live for, but whom I live for.
sino para quién vivo, con quién comparto
Things are
la vida.
important, but people are essential.
繰り返すようにやはり準備しておいた方がいいと。何のために生きているというよりは誰のために生きているかということですね。この誰と一
With
緒
whom
に
can I
命を分かち合
share
えるか
my life?
その通りです。
Las cosas son importantes, pero las personas son
Things are
imprescindibles.
important, but people are essential.
Nos deshumanizamos, perdemos rostro, perdemos nombre y nos volvemos
Without them,
un
we
objeto
grow
más.
dehumanized. We lose
Quizás el
our
mejor de
faces
todos,
and names.
pero objetos. Y no
But we
somos
become just
objetos,
another object,
somos
perhaps
personas.
better than others, but in the end, nothing more than an object.
これは大事なところです。
El libro del Eclesiástico dice:
And we are not
"El
objects,
fiel
but
es un
persons."
refugio seguro. El que lo encuentra encontró un tesoro. Por eso
The
siempre
book
es
of
importante
Sirach says,
preguntarse, ¿para
"Faithful
quién
friends are a
soy yo?"
sturdy shelter. Whoever finds one has found a treasure."
Pero él quiso que seas también para los demás y puso en ti muchas cualidades, muchas inclinaciones.
That is why it is always essential to
que
ask,
no son para ti, sino para otros.
for whom do I live?
Compartir con otros. No solo vivir la vida,
Of
sino
course you are for
compartir
God,
la vida.
but He has decided that you should also be for others, and He has given you many qualities, inclinations, gifts, and charisms that are not for you, but to share with those around
Y
you.
esto es algo muy hermoso que ustedes pueden ofrecer a nuestro mundo. Los jóvenes tienen que dar algo al mundo.
やはり世界に若者が与えるべきものがあります。
Sean testigos de que la amistad social, la amistad entre ustedes es posible. Esperanza en un futuro basado en la
This is something beautiful that you can offer to our world. Bear witness that a social friendship is possible. Put your hope in a future based on the culture of encounter, acceptance, fraternity, and respect for the dignity of each person, especially those most in need of love and understanding. without
riqueza,
sensing the need to attack or despise others, but learning instead to recognize their
un
gifts.
pensamiento que nos puede ayudar para mantenernos vivos físicamente. Tenemos que respirar.
A thought that can help
Es una acción que realizamos sin darnos cuenta.
to
Respiramos
maintain this
automáticamente.
physical living
私たちは誰
is
でも
need
息を
we have need
吸い
for
吸った
hope.
り張ったりしてそれは自動的に意識しないうちにしています。
Para mantenernos vivos en el sentido pleno y amplio de la palabra, necesitamos también
In order to stay
aprender a
alive
respirar
physically,
espiritualmente.
we have to keep breathing. It is something we do without realizing it automatically.
En un movimiento interno
To stay alive in the fullest sense
escuchar a Dios
of the word,
que nos habla en lo profundo.
we also need to learn how to breathe
También
spiritually
necesitamos de un movimiento externo.
through prayer and meditation in an inward movement by which we can hear God speak to us in the depths of our hearts. We also need an outward movement by which we reach out to others in acts of love and service.
Descubrir no solo que Dios nos ha amado,
This double motion is what enables us to grow and to discover not only that we are loved by God, but that He has called each of us to unique mission and vocation. We discover this to the extent that we give ourselves to others, to specific persons.
sobre estas cosas desde su propia experiencia.
Masako spoke about all this from her own experience as a student and a teacher.
¿Cómo se puede ayudar a los
She asked how
jóvenes
young people can be
a que
helped
se den
to
cuenta
discover their
de la
innate
propia
goodness
bondad
and
y
worth.
valor? Una vez más, les quisiera decir que para crecer,
Here again, I would say that in order to grow,
la propia bondad,
to discover our own identity, goodness, and inner beauty,
no podemos mirarnos en el espejo.
we cannot look at ourselves in a mirror.
Se han inventado muchas cosas, pero gracias a Dios no existen.
We have invented all sorts of gadgets, but we still can't take selfies of the soul.
Para ser felices necesitamos pedirle ayuda a los demás.
Because, thank God, because to be happy, we need to ask others to help us,
Salir de nosotros
to have the
mismos
photo taken by
y
someone
hacia
else.
los demás. Especialmente
We need to go out of ourselves towards others, especially those most in need.
y les quiero
In a special way, I ask you to extend the hand of friendship to those who come here,
demasiado.
often after great sufferings,
No se
seeking
miren
refuge in your
demasiado en el
covering.
espejo de ustedes mismos.
言いたいことが自分のことだけを見ないでください。鏡を
You
に
don't
向かって
look too much
自分
at
の顔だけ
yourselves.
見ないようにし
Don't look too much in the mirror.
El riesgo de que tanto mirarse se rompa el espejo.
見すぎたらやっぱり鏡は壊れるかもしれませんから。
Y ya termino.
もう終わりますから。
Era hora.
Because looking too much in the mirror will break the mirror.
Les pido que extiendan los brazos de la amistad y reciban a quienes vienen, a menudo después de un gran sufrimiento, a buscar refugio en su país. Con nosotros está aquí presente un pequeño grupo de refugiados. Vuestra acogida
In a
testimonial
special way, I ask you to extend the hand of friendship to those who come here, often after great sufferings, seeking refuge in your country. Indeed, a small group of refugees is present with us here, and your kindness to them will show that they are not strangers, not in the least, for you regard them as brothers and sisters.
correctas.
A wise teacher once said that the key to growing in wisdom is not so much finding the right answers, but discovering the right questions to ask.
Yo sé responder a las cosas.
一人一人考えてほしい。
Each one of us,
答えが
each
必
one
要
of you
な
should
ものに
think,
対しての答えができるかということですね。
Y yo sé responder
do I
bien,
know how to respond?
hacer las respuestas correctas.
その答えが正しい答えができますかと。
Si alguno dice que sí, te felicito.
でそれはそうだと言える人がいればそれが非常にありがたいことです。
Do I know how to find the right questions?
Yo sé hacer las preguntas correctas.
し
かし、それよりもっと
If
大
you're
事な
able to do
のは、
that, my
私が
compliments.
正しい質問をすることはできるかということです。
Yo tengo el corazón inquieto que me lleva a preguntar continuamente
But you have to learn to find the right
a
questions.
los demás, a Dios.
やはりその心が動いて、関心があって、いろんな質問ですね、人に対して、神様に対して、自分に対して、そういう質問をすることはできますか？
Con las respuestas correctas, ustedes pasan el examen.
正しい答えで試験にパスする、合格するかもしれません。
Pero sin las preguntas correctas, no pasan la vida.
With the
しか
right
し
answer,
正し
you
い質問
can
がなければ、
pass the
そ
test.
の命、生活の試験に合格しないんです。
No todos
But
ustedes
without
son
the
maestros
right
como nosotros,
questions,
pero
皆さんが
you won't be able to pass the exam of life.
cuestionarse y ayudar a otros a hacerse buenas y cuestionadoras preguntas sobre el
Not all of
significado
you will
de la
become
vida.
teachers like Misako, but I hope that you will keep asking and help others to ask the right questions about the meaning of our life and about how we can shape a better future for those who are coming after us.
Amistosa atención y gracias por la paciencia.
その忍耐も感謝します。
Dear young people, I thank you for your friendly attention and for your patience, for this time you have given me, and for sharing something of your lives.
No tapen los sueños,
Never lose heart
no aturdan sus sueños.
or set aside your
夢に蓋を
dreams.
しないでください。
Denle espacio a los sueños
夢に時間、
Give space for your
スペースを与え
dreams.
てください。
y anímense a mirar grandes horizontes.
広い
Give them plenty of room.
平線を見るように。
Y anímense a mirar lo que les espera si se animan a construirlo juntos.
Give them plenty of room. Dare to glimpse vast horizons and see what awaits you if you aspire to achieve them together.
Generosos, alegres, entusiastas, capaces de construir una casa para todos.
Japan needs you and the world needs you to be generous, cheerful, and enthusiastic,
皆さんのために祈りをすることを約束します。
para que crezcan en sabiduría
capable of making a
espiritual,
home for
霊
everyone.
的な成長ができるように祈ります。
para que sepan
Allow me to
hacer
pray
las
for
preguntas
you.
correctas,
正しい質問ができるように祈
I
り
pray
ます。
that you will grow
para
in
que se
spiritual
olviden de los
wisdom
hijos
and discover the path to true happiness in this
y
life.
sepan mirar los ojos de los demás.
人々の目を向けるように、見るように祈ります。
Y a todos ustedes, a sus familias y amigos, les hago llegar mis mejores deseos, mi bendición. Y les pido que
I will
se
keep you in my
acuerden
prayers, and I ask you please to pray for me.
de darme buenos deseos y mandarme bendiciones.
ね、皆
To
さん
all
も
of you and to your families and friends, I extend my best wishes, and I give you my blessing.
送ってくださるように心から祈りしたい、お願いしたいと思います。
Muchas gracias.
感謝してます。
Thank you very, very much.
Muchas gracias, Papa Francisco.
That was the address of Pope Francis to young people, whom he's meeting here at the Cathedral of St. Mary, the Cathedral of the Assumption in Tokyo.
教皇に贈り物をさせていただきます。
贈り物は今回のために特別にご用意したハッピです。
And
このハッピには
the young people who gave their witness
の思いが絵や文字で刷り込まれています。
have a traditional
有志による団体
Japanese shirt with an image of Pope Francis.
全国の青年から教皇フランシスコに届けたい声を募集いたしました。
which our Holy Father
26個に集約 そのうち半分を
is putting on.
フランシスコの母国語であるスペイン語に翻訳し、日本語とスペイン語の青年の声をハッピーにプリントしました。
And posing for the crowds and thanking the young people again for their gift.
美穂さんに依頼いたしました。 中井さんが趣味で描かれていた教皇フランシスコのイラストは、教皇の世界の課題と大胆に向き合う若々しさと、弱い立場の人たちと積極的に食卓を囲む親しみやすさがあふれていて、ハッピーにもその画風を存分に発揮していただきました。
教皇様、ハッピー来てくださってありがとうございます。
And so that is this meeting with the young people, and now he greets the MCs who have been leading this encounter. He was able to shake hands and give them a hug. And is now greeting some of the other people here in the cathedral. As he concludes his visit and is able to greet some of the young people here after his speech. The Holy Father was able to hit on a number of themes in his talk this morning, including the cultural and religious diversity of Japan. He spoke out against bullying in response to the question from Leonardo, and very strongly encouraged young people themselves to say no to bullying and to stand up against bullying and against anyone who engages in that. And he spoke about the importance of making time for others, sharing our lives with them to help overcome loneliness. And to work together to overcome that form of that spiritual poverty. He quoted Mother Teresa, who said, "Loneliness and the feeling of being unloved is the most terrible form of poverty." And he emphasized that if we live for others and we live for God, it's important to share our gifts and our talents and treasures with those around us, especially the gift of ourselves. Encourage young people to put your hope in a future based on a culture of encounter, acceptance, fraternity, and respect for the dignity of each person. And so the Holy Father is concluding his visit here with the young people in the cathedral in Tokyo. It is his last public event this morning before now he's going to go to the Apostolic Institute where he will have lunch before heading off this afternoon to the Tokyo Dome where he will celebrate the holy sacrifice of the Mass. And that will be a Mass for the gift of human life. We'll have full coverage of that liturgy this afternoon, again with live English commentary, which will be brought to you by Sister Bernadette of Vatican News. and that will begin a little after 3 o'clock this afternoon local time. That's 3 o'clock Tokyo time, and 7 o'clock, just after 7 o'clock Rome time. And finally, today the Holy Father will be visiting with the Prime Minister and then with civil authorities and members of the Diplomatic Corps, and that will be his last full day in Japan. We thank you all for joining us for this event, the meeting with young people at St. Mary's Cathedral in Tokyo. Once again, I'd like to thank all of those listening in on the various partner organizations, including Radio Luce, We Are One Body Radio, Catholic Faith Network, Shalom World TV, Salt and Light TV, EWTN TV, Catholic TV, and CBS News. Thank you for joining us. We hope you'll join us again later today. And for full coverage of the Pope's 32nd Apostolic Voyage outside of Italy, a voyage to Thailand and Japan, please go to our web portal at www.vaticannews.va. My name is Christopher Wells, and I do offer my personal thanks to all of you for joining us this morning. Praise be Jesus Christ. Laudetur Jesus Christus.